On July 20, 1984, in Berlin, Uwe Hohn launched the Javelin 100 for 0.80 meters, setting a world record that remains the longest throw ever achieved with the original specification implement. The mark extended beyond 100 meters at a time when distances in the event were increasing rapidly, raising practical concerns about stadium safety and measurement limits. How does an athlete come to redefine the measurable boundaries of an Olympic discipline? This documentary explores the documented life and career of Uwe Hohn, tracing the path that led to a record-breaking throw and examining the legacy that followed. Uwe Hohn was born on the 16th of July 1962 in Neuruppin, in what was then the German Democratic Republic. He entered organized athletics through the structured sports development system of the GDR, where young athletes were identified and guided into specialized disciplines. His physical attributes and aptitude for throwing events directed him toward the javelin, a discipline requiring speed, coordination, strength, and refined technique. From an early stage, he trained within dedicated sports clubs that emphasized systematic progression and technical precision. The javelin throw is a complex sequence of movements. An athlete accelerates along a runway, transitions through crossover steps. Success depends on approach velocity, release angle, arm speed, and balance at the delivery stride. Hohn's development reflected careful attention to each of these elements, supported by structured coaching and strength conditioning. By the early 1980s, he had emerged as one of the most promising javelin throwers in East Germany. His distances improved steadily, placing him among the top performers nationally. In a discipline measured in centimeters, incremental progress can signal significant technical advancement. Hohn's upward trajectory suggested that he was approaching the highest competitive tier. His breakthrough season came in 1984. On the 20th of July of that year, competing at a meet in Berlin, Hohn produced the throw that would define his career. The javelin traveled 100 for 0.80 meters, surpassing the existing world record and marking the first officially recognized throw beyond 100 meters. The performance was ratified as a world record by the international governing body for athletics, confirming its place in the sport's official history. The significance of 100 for 0.80 meters extended beyond the number itself. In the years preceding Hohn's record, javelin distances had increased dramatically due to improvements in training, technique, and implement design. Throws approaching and exceeding 100 meters began to raise concerns about landing areas within standard stadium configurations. Hohn's record became the definitive example of how far the original javelin specification could travel under optimal conditions. The year 1984 also included the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. However, his world record performance remains one of the most prominent athletic achievements of that year in the javelin discipline. In 1985, Hohn continued competing at a high level. He won the gold medal at the European Cup and maintained distances that kept him among the leading throwers internationally. His ability to combine power with control was evident in consistent performances over 90 meters, distances that at the time placed him firmly within world-class status. The evolution of the javelin as an implement reached a turning point shortly after Hohn's record. In 1986, the International Amateur Athletic Federation introduced a redesigned men's javelin, shifting the center of gravity forward to reduce flight distance and ensure steeper landing angles. The change effectively reset the world record list. Hohn's 100 for 0.80 meter throw thus became the longest mark recorded with the original specification javelin, a historical distinction that remains unique. The redesign did not erase his achievement, rather, it underscored its scale. His record demonstrated the maximum potential of the previous implement under elite conditions. As athletics moved into a new era of equipment standards, Hohn's throw stood as the closing chapter of one phase in the sport's technical development. Following the implement change, Hohn continued to compete using the new specification javelin. Adjusting to altered flight characteristics required technical adaptation. Athletes had to refine release angles and recalibrate approach timing to accommodate the modified aerodynamics. Hohn remained active during this transitional period, though distances naturally differed from the pre-1986 marks due to the equipment change. In 1987, he competed at the World Championships in Rome. Facing a strong international field under the new javelin rules, he recorded competitive throws, though he did not reach the medal podium. Participation at this level reflected his continued presence among elite throwers during a time of adjustment in the event. Throughout his competitive years, Hohn's training emphasized explosive strength and biomechanical efficiency. Throwers of his era typically incorporated sprint work, weightlifting, and technical drills into daily routines. Upper body power was balanced with lower body drive, ensuring that the kinetic chain from legs to arm delivered maximum velocity at release. The discipline required to maintain such conditioning over multiple seasons is a documented feature of high-performance athletics. As the late 1980s approached, Hohn gradually transitioned away from peak international competition. Athletic careers in throwing events often span several years at elite level, but maintaining world record form is an exceptional standard. By the end of the decade, his role in competition diminished as a new generation of javelin throwers emerged under the redesigned implement. After concluding his active competitive career, Uwe Hohn moved into coaching. His expertise in technique and training made him a valuable mentor for developing athletes. Over the years, he worked in various coaching capacities, including positions outside Germany. His experience as a world record holder provided insight into the demands of elite throwing at the highest level. In the 2000s and 2010s, Hohn served as a javelin coach in several national programs. He became head coach for javelin in India, contributing to the development of elite throwers within that system. Coaching at this level involves not only technical instruction, but also planning competition schedules and refining performance strategies. His transition from athlete to coach reflects a broader pattern in athletics, where former champions share knowledge gained through experience. The record of 104.80 meters remains one of the most discussed performances in javelin history. It stands apart because no athlete can surpass it under current specifications. The redesign of the implement ensures that distances are measured within a new framework. Thus, Hohn's mark represents both a peak performance and a historical boundary. In examining his career, it is important to distinguish between measurable achievements and contextual developments. The world record was officially recognized and documented. The equipment change was publicly announced and implemented by the governing body. These facts frame his legacy within the sport. The javelin throw, like all track and field events, is governed by objective measurement. Distance is determined precisely from the foul line to the first point of contact in the landing area. Records are verified under standardized conditions. Hohn's 104.80 meters met these criteria, confirming its authenticity. His achievement also highlights the interplay between athlete performance and equipment design. Throughout athletics history, changes in implements have occasionally followed periods of rapid record progression. In the case of the men's javelin, the 1986 redesign marked a clear transition. Hohn's record remains the final and greatest performance of the previous era. In reflecting on his competitive style, observers have noted the smooth acceleration in his approach and the pronounced whip-like action at release. Technical analysis of film from the 1984 throw shows a balanced delivery phase and a release angle optimized for maximum carry. Such technical details are part of the documented evaluation of elite throws. Beyond records and statistics, his career illustrates the disciplined preparation required for throwing events. Javelin training involves repeated high-intensity efforts that place stress on shoulders and elbows. Athletes must manage workload carefully to maintain longevity. Sustaining elite form over multiple seasons requires careful planning and recovery. Hohn's progression from junior athlete to world record holder reflects the effectiveness of structured development programs combined with individual dedication. Each stage of advancement, regional competition, national championships, international meets provided benchmarks for improvement. By 1984, he had aligned preparation with peak performance. The absence of Olympic participation in 1984 due to geopolitical circumstances remains part of the historical context of that season. However, his world record stands independently of Olympic competition. It is recorded in official statistics and remains recognized as the longest throw with the original implement. As a coach, Hohn's influence extends beyond his own competitive results. Guiding athletes in technique, strength training, and competition strategy contributes to the ongoing evolution of the event. In this capacity, he has remained connected to the discipline that defined his athletic career. Today, discussions of javelin history inevitably include his name. When analysts review pre-1986 records, 104.80 meters is the final and highest entry. It symbolizes the outer limit reached before equipment modification altered the trajectory of the event. The contribution of an athlete can be measured in several ways. Medals represent championship success. Records represent performance boundaries. In Hohn's case, the world record defines his legacy more prominently than podium placements. Dedication in athletics is expressed through repetition and resilience. Every throw in training builds toward a single attempt in competition. The record-setting throw in Berlin was the visible culmination of countless preparatory sessions. Measured in meters and centimeters, it captured years of disciplined effort. As time moves forward, new champions emerge under current specifications. Distances achieved today are compared within the modern framework. Yet the historical record preserves earlier eras, ensuring that achievements like Hohn's remain part of the sport's narrative. Uwe Hohn's career deserves recognition because it represents a documented milestone in track and field history. He achieved the longest throw ever recorded with the original men's javelin and competed at the highest levels of international athletics. His transition into coaching reflects continued engagement with the sport. In considering his contribution, one sees the intersection of athlete performance and institutional decision-making. A single throw influenced the future design of an Olympic implement. Few performances in athletics have had such direct structural impact. The measure of perseverance lies in the consistent pursuit of technical mastery. The javelin does not forgive imbalance or hesitation. Only precise timing converts approach speed into distance. Hohn's record demonstrates what is possible when preparation and execution align perfectly. His name remains inscribed in the official annals of world athletics,